All righty, looks like we are live. Microphone check 1, 2. Hopefully, you guys are picking me up and receiving me loud and clear. If you are, welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, and we are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. We are following up and keeping you up to date on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, um, a right leaning, very outspoken political figure, specifically for a lot of these young folks. He's been able to grab their attention. I'm still a huge fan of Charlie. Well, I was. I'm still. This is shocking to me because I can see the implications. This is not going to end well. There's been a lot of people who have been trying to be really nice to a lot of really bad people, right? Trying to live amongst each other peacefully. A lot of people are going to just give up on that. Yeah, this is not good. But there is breaking news as far as the assassin. And we're going to go ahead and break that as soon as we give everybody a chance to kind of get into the chat room. Jill, bad actors. Brandon, good to see you. Eli, what's up? Evil versus good. It really is. I hate to sound like the creepy teacher in the movie Donnie Darko. Right? But it is really that cut and dry. Good to see you, Dawn. Sweets, afternoon. All right, let's get into it. I can always repeat this information for those who decide to kind of stroll in late like a bunch of hobos. Right, so let's look at the key developments this hour. At around 12:44 p.m. Eastern Time, the FBI announced a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspect. They also released new security footage images of a person of interest, a college-age male wearing dark jeans, a black long-sleeve shirt, black hat, and black sunglasses, captured ascending stairs near the shooting site. Tips can be submitted via 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI, or FBI's online portal, which really isn't that effective. I would go to your local police station, honestly, and show them what you have. ATF and FBI investigators recovered a high-powered Mauser 30-06. When I saw it, I was like, that's a 30-06 bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel in nearby woods. You know what's interesting, guys? Remember we said he most likely ran into the wooded area and could possibly live in that neighborhood. Here, let's pull up this map. I think we might have been spot on with that. Right? The fact that he knew the college, goes to that college, probably lives there nearby temporarily, maybe for the last year. He's not a marksman. He's just kind of a good shot. Maybe your typical that's a hunting rifle. If I was to go hunting, deer hunting or elk hunting with my dad, that's the rifle that I would grab right there. That's all you need. 200-yard shot, boom, easy. Well, not easy for me because I'm not that good of a shot. I'm more of a close quarters guy. Here, let me put this up on the screen for you guys. Okay, so they have him at the very top level of that building. For some reason, we had him like one notch down. I don't know if they're right or if we were wrong. I don't know. The angle doesn't look right from right here. They have him kind of resting right here. Right? That's not a very good angle. Here's some drone footage that was posted on X not too long ago. We're not going to watch all of it for copyright reasons, but I just want to kind of fast forward and kind of back up, kind of like this on this specific area. So they have this area cordoned off with what appears to be police tape. And then today they released these photographs of what appear to be the impressions left behind by the assassin. Don't worry. It's not Halloween candy. Those are markers from the investigators. All right, looks like his legs right here. Not quite sure what that is. His elbow, maybe. And then the shuffling of his hands. Looks like he may have even laid closer to the edge here. But that doesn't look as fresh. I wonder if they had rain recently. This kind of looks like a similar impression. You see the feet right here and then right here. I wonder if he was there a few times in the days before, trying to kind of get the range, the distance. There's his angle right there. Damn. So for a lot of us, we can't go living in denial anymore. Right? No more backs against the wall. Like, this is out of control. Sparky, what's up? Beth Gonzalez, good to see you. True 32. Does anybody know what happened to the docket? His channel is gone. No. Did they get a strike? Maybe they actually showed the morbidity of the event. I don't think you can do that on YouTube. Julia Burns, what up? Yeah, he had a beautiful family. Chopper, new enemy. Yeah, let's try to tone down that rhetoric. Chopper. What up, by the way? I don't like that word tranny. Transsexual or transgender is acceptable. But they may be getting punched in the face a lot more. Tell you that. I hate that I'm so mad about this. You know, I don't like being controlled like this. Don Spain. Charlie Sheen was on Rogan when this happened. When Charlie Sheen is a voice of reason, we're in trouble. Hey, I don't have a problem with Charlie Sheen, right? Winner, winner, Sheen dinner. Because I don't, why should I give a shit about Charlie Sheen? All I know is that I like his acting in movies, right? That's as far as that should go. Same goes with Sean Penn. It looks like he's been sniffing nitrous oxide for the last 10 years. All right, let's go back to the notes here. ATF and FBI investigators recovered a high powered Mauser 30-06 bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel in nearby woods. So let's close this back down. So remember, guys, we called it. We said they have him jumping off the roof, but it's obvious that he climbed down the ladder. So one of the first things we said, and this was before they released this to the public. So we had the assassin kind of coming down those ladders, able to actually take a shortcut right here because of the incline. This actually is like a hill. So he only has to drop down to the second floor, cross this beam, and then he's on the sidewalk, cut through this parking lot, and then into the woods. So we said this last night. Do you guys remember that when we were doing the criminology? We're like, this is the most likely scenario, right? So we literally called it. This is where they found the rifle. So this is why it's important to learn these things, right? Criminology, typology, victimology. But unfortunately, with Charlie Kirk, it's hard to do the victimology. He's just such a popular guy and has so many enemies and could have been used by many groups, right, for false flags. So it's hard to do the victimology. He's just so popular. And public. So if you need to know anything about him, you could take a quick look. So we kind of skipped it. We kept the victimology in mind, but jumped right over to the criminology. Um, Reverse engineering the crime scene. And now we see that it's a college age kid. We said, hey, probably goes to college, right? And after kind of figuring out where he might have ran, we said through here, through the parking lot, maybe a getaway driver into a vehicle or even into the neighborhood, right? This parking lot points right at this little wooded area. I believe this is where they found the gun. Here, I have a photograph. Let's see if it matches. I could be wrong. That might not be the area. But it's just interesting that we predicted that behavior. He left the rifle, so they found the rifle. What did we say? That they were going to find that he left the rifle behind. So it's good that they found it so quick. Wrapped in a towel. All right, let's check on the chat real quick. Presence upon me. I'm sure they are looking into Omar, who posted on his site the day prior to the shooting that something big is going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, we saw that. We talked about that briefly. It was very interesting. But it's one of those very vague things, right? Like Nostradamus or The Simpsons. You have a million episodes, you're bound to get something right. Good to see you, Eminem. Andy. Nick Johns. If he was running, where are the exit footprints? Well, if you notice these beams right here, let's go back to this right here. So this is not my footage. I found this on X. Drone footage. See, in this video, we can see him walking down the stairs right here. Or the ladder, I'm sorry. Right there. And the one he went down is this one over here. But they have it taped up on the very top floor. That doesn't look right, huh? Oh, yeah, that's definitely the top floor. Hey, Steffa, what's up? Says, how did the shooter know where to stand unless he had intel of the exact location of Charlie's location? Well, I think it's safe to assume with a few questions, right? It's the amphitheater. So I think just knowing that it's the amphitheater, maybe asking a question like, where are they going to set up? Oh, well, they're going to set up at the amphitheater. Or even having maybe a secondary plan like, okay, it's either going to be the amphitheater or it's going to be the quad. Or the gymnasium or whatever. And then you just have two locations that you can shoot from. But this one I think is kind of is expected, right? He's going to be in the amphitheater. So we do the criminology. The suspect must know the location, must know where to expect him, comfortable, fit in, right? He didn't look like some old retired Navy SEAL with an axe to grind. He just fit right in like a college kid, which is the majority of Charlie's age group, right? When it comes to fans. So we were right about that. So far, we were right. Let's take a look at this guy. There's the gun. Yeah, and apparently there were messages kind of written on the rifle, but I don't see them on there. Maybe he has it like on the top. So I don't know what the messages said. I'm going to continue reading the information. I think it has something to do with pro-trans, anti-fascist. Here, let me go back to my notes. I have it all written down here. Let's see. So they found the 30-06 action rifle wrapped in a towel in nearby woods, we called it, matching the suspect's escape route, called that too. The spent cartridge and 3 unspent rounds were engraved with a message expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Forensics for DNA and fingerprints are underway, with no trace results yet. Officials confirmed the suspect arrived on campus at 11:52. Here, let's pull this guy up. There he is. The fuck? He looks weird. I think that could be a woman. Possibly a woman. Officials confirmed the suspect arrived on campus at 11:52 a.m., climbed to a rooftop 200 yards from the stage, fired one shot, jumped off, and fled on foot into a neighborhood. Isn't it crazy how when you do the criminology, it just kind of, it's not like you're figuring anything out. You're just reading a language. Like, it's like it's being transcribed. It's crazy. So he fled on foot into a neighborhood. Let's pull that back up. Right, we called it. Right through here, parking lot. Oops, basically kind of runs you right into it. And you would have to know that. You would have to be familiar with this area, cased it out, knew that you can kind of walk through here or try to cut through here. Yeah, that looks like it matches, huh? Let me go back. Hold on. Yep, I think that's it right there. Okay, so he ran off on foot into a neighborhood. A footwear impression was found near the scene, described as blending in with college students. He believed to be a lone actor with possible sniper training. I'm telling you guys, you don't need to be a sniper to take that shot. But I do think you would have to practice recently. So if you know of anybody that you've been hanging out with, going shooting with, maybe out there camping, hiking, going to the range, um, that might fit that description in that area, I would call it in. Especially if you know he has ties to that university. So he took the shot from right there, somewhere on top of this roof on the opposite side. This is the back corner. And then he ran, cut through this parking lot. And I don't know, did he hide here for a moment? Or is there a way to get out? Yeah, he would have to cut through somebody's property. You have this area too. Yeah, no, he's not coming through there. There's nowhere to hide there. Miracle. Law enforcement says spent cartridge was still chambered and 3 unspent cartridges containing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Well, there you have it. And what's crazy is I already knew that. I already knew it. I was almost 99.9% sure of it. And so was everybody else. Yeah, we just showed it. So there's the rifle. 30-06. Just your average hunting rifle. There's nothing special about this gun at all. Every 18, 19-year-old Midwestern boy has one of these in his closet right now. It's one of the first guns I ever owned. What's up, Miss Dog Lover? Winner, winner, sheen dinner. And we had guns out of the yin yang for 2 centuries, and this explosion of gun violence didn't start till the late 90s. Why is that? Well, it's because the false flag, you know. These radical lefts, basically what they are is the mental health, the people who are suffering from mental health issues are being weaponized by a political party in the United States. And a lot of us have just kind of sat back and watched it. But I feel like it wouldn't be fair to attack them who are being manipulated. Shouldn't we be attacking those that are manipulating them? They're still just the fringe minority, these folks suffering from mental illness who are kind of being strung along by puppet strings. Who's the puppet master? That's the question. Okay, so officials confirm the suspect arrived on campus at 11:52 a.m., climbed to a rooftop 200 yards from the stage, fired one shot, jumped off, and fled on foot into a neighborhood. A footwear impression was found near the scene. So I don't know if they're referring to these ones here, because that's very gravelly. I don't know if that's going to be helpful. Julie, I feel the exact same way. This makes me so angry. I hate that some evil person has the power to evoke that. Coward son of a bitch. Yeah, it bothers me. But I feel like that could be the intention. You know, I mean, don't forget about fucking mind control and MK Ultra and all that shit. People are used all the time. Andy says, I have no clue, but access to firearms is far too easy. It's not about firearms. You could blow all the firearms into outer space all at once. I like the song, right? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, nothing. It's not going to do anything. Because if you don't have guns, you're still a psychopathic, sadistic son of a bitch. And you're still trying to get from point A to point B. If there's no guns, what am I going to use now to kill Charlie Kirk with? Well, I'll make an improvised explosive device. There you go. Well, I guess we got to ban all these household items that can be used as an explosive device. That'll do it. Well, sir, we got rid of all these items. Now they're mowing down crowds of people with their cars. Well, I know what I'll do. We'll ban all automobiles. That'll fix it. Sir, people are being knifed. Hundreds a day. We'll ban all knives. They're making them out of spoons. No more knives and no more spoons. But nobody's going to address the motive, the motivating factor. These items are just tools to achieve some kind of sick, sadistic fantasy. Who's feeding this fantasy and who's manipulating these psychotic people? Fucking crazy to me. No more sporks. uh no more trans silverware. Or what would that be? Cuttery? I wonder if Luigi Mangione inspired the idea of putting wording on the cartridges. I think so. Because I've been seeing a lot more of that. Or they could just be all part of the same movement. I feel like this is all like some kind of being organized behind the scenes, and law enforcement has no clue where they're communicating. I feel like during the first Trump run for president, his presidency or his campaign to run for president, shit got crazy. And a lot of these Antifa types on the left who were there, they were there for the fight. They just got outgunned. So sometimes you got to be careful. Your enemy can kind of hide into the shadows and grow like a mushroom. Get good, get smart. Where did we fail? Where do we need to grow? What areas do we have for opportunity? Well, we're all soy boy noodle arms. Well, guess what? We're all going to fucking bulk up and take jujitsu. Some of us, anyway. Those of us who can't are going to become marksmen. You're going to train daily. You guys are going to learn close quarters combat, 2-on-2 formations, how to enter and exit a battleground. The following on lockdown: Democrat National Committee building in D.C., Alabama State, Hampton University, and Virginia State. Oh, geez. Spoke too soon. Yeah, I feel like this is a very orchestrated thing. These guys might be communicating on the dark web. It's easier today to access the dark web than ever. Could be some kind of chat forum, an app that was made specifically for, not even released to the public. One of these Silicon Valley types, creating a safe space where they can plot, kind of like the Illuminati, right? What's up, Cyber? So I don't know how helpful the impressions will be, but I think they're referring to the wooded area, if I'm going to be honest. So they found the gun in the wooded area, wrapped in a towel. So I'm hoping they have impressions somewhere out here. Maybe in the mud. Yeah, somewhere out here. See, this area goes down like a hill. Chopper, what up? On Saturday, there is a big protest in London. I think something will happen. Yeah, this is all by design. And I feel like there's not really much we can do. Chopping at the bit. Trouble everyone having access to firearms is a constant time bomb. Children and teenagers can hold on them all too easy. Not good. Well, I'm telling you, if kids want to get their hands on guns to do harm to others or to themselves, if they don't have a gun, they'll find other means. Does that not make sense? It's just the best tool. You take away the best tool, you just move on down to the second best. If you don't fix the problem, which is mental health, and people just shoving pills down other people's throats, and pharmaceutical companies getting rich off of us, turning neighbor against neighbor. You remember the fucking pandemic? That shit was crazy. I remember walking into a store and watching this woman yelling at, and I knew them. They both live on my street, yelling at each other about never wearing a mask and never coming into the grocery store not wearing a mask. She said, you're going to murder my grandmother. My grandmother lives with me and you're murdering her. And I remember, sir, you can't come in here without a mask. I said, all right, I won't do business here. And then you hear the whispers, oh my God. My sister has health issues. Can you believe that guy? Yeah, look at you now. Look at you now. All right, let's keep this guy's face up here. Okay, joint FBI, ATF, Utah DPS, and local teams have received over 150 tips. 2 individuals previously detained were released after questioning, no current custody. And earlier today, law enforcement asked people to back off those guys. They have been cleared. They were never suspects. They were just persons of interest. No big deal. Just a couple strange guys that happened to be in the area. They were looked at. No issue. Boom. Those guys are fine. They're still strange, but no big deal. They're harmless. Stop attacking those people. Okay, and I think there's supposed to be, let's see, a press conference with FBI and Utah DPS officials is scheduled for 3 p.m. So shouldn't that be like right now? Let me see. Oh, it says here Utah officials postpone press briefing because of rapid developments in case. Let's pull this up. This is from The Hill. So they were going to have a press conference, but it looks like it has been postponed. Let's see. The FBI has suspended a planned afternoon press conference on the Charlie Kirk shooting because of rapid developments in the case. The announcement of the delayed press conference with the Utah Department of Public Safety came after the FBI released photos of a person of interest in the case. Due to the rapid developments in our investigation, we will suspend this, the department said in an email, saying a rescheduled time would be announced later. Okay, this is great news, guys. Let me tell you why this is great news. The only reason you schedule a press conference is because you've hit a dead end. They need help with something. We need the public to help us with this. So them canceling the press conference tells me that they don't need our help right now. They're running down leads. That's great. That's always a good sign. So scratch that. No press conference. Brandon, I'm going to have to change my comment stylings as they keep disappearing. Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube. Certain things, if you share an email sometimes, like an at Gmail or at Yahoo or something like that, sometimes they won't allow it. Certain curse words. I'm not quite sure what else. But yeah, a lot of people complain. They're like, Sleuth, why you keep deleting my comments? I'm like, I'm not. I promise. It ain't me, bro. It ain't me, babe. It ain't me. Stefa, truly the worst death I've ever seen, and I've seen quite a bit as a nurse. This is horrific. Yeah, this is tragic. But there's a point behind this, right? It's basically somebody saying our mental health issue is has been widely accepted, is now mainstream. For you to deny our demands is extremely upsetting. Yes, we're out of our minds, but we have friends now in the Democratic Party. We gave them our vote, and now they get us as a martyr. Because I'm already suicidal anyway, right? I'm already an incel. I'm already looked at a certain way, cross-eyed, or I have these issues. There's something going on with me that I'm not normal. I need mental health. I have a mental health issue, and I need professional care. But instead of saying that, you have a whole political party saying, oh, forget all that. You're good the way you are. Just chop off your boobs and pedophilia and all that. Just keep it under wraps. We still love you. Just vote as a Democrat. Just do what we tell you. And all of you suicidal incels, we have a purpose for you. We have a place for you within the compound here on the Democratic installation. Right? Take all the fringe groups, make them into one weird LGBT whatever, taking away their own individual identity, right? I mean, how would you feel being a gay person and now you're like forced into a group? Each individual needs their own specific care. The United States has enough money to do that. Yet the same group that's being manipulated is voting to have all that money sent to other countries and into weird fucking programs so that people can pirate our tax dollars. It's embezzlement. It's disgusting. And now this manipulated fringe group that's been radicalized and militarized is now killing Christian conservatives. That's me. That is me. I don't care if it's a Democrat, Republican, whoever is pushing a conservative agenda, I will always vote for that. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with marijuana in that regard. Um, well, if this person has a bunch of trans stuff written all over his weapon, I wouldn't count out possible woman being the shooter. I mean, it appears to be a man, but I'm also getting, I have pretty good gaydar, right? So I am kind of, there's a little bit of tingle in the force. I feel a disturbance within the force. Hey, Timmy, looks like a spaghetti armed trans Tifa loser. I could be a woman or some man. Yeah, I think it could be a man or a woman. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say man, right? All of the indicators are there. It could be maybe a trans man or a trans woman who decided to cut their hair and dress as a male. So we might be looking for somebody who lives as a female and on this occasion was in a disguise. Julius's bone structure looks like a man. Yeah, this right here, the bones. But there's a lot of blurriness right here, so I don't want that pareidolia to kind of skew your thoughts. Even the nose kind of looks. I don't know what's going on here. Let me go to this other photo. This is a very feminine look right here to me. I don't know a lot of men who walk with their arms straight. But I do know a lot of women that do that. What's up, goat dog? Julia says, looks like an assigned male at birth. Yeah, get it right. It ain't about respect, it's about fear, right? Watch what you say. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people who have been watching what they say, including myself, who are not no longer going to do that. Things are ugly. A lot of people really love Charlie Kirk. I wouldn't go as far as, because I love everybody, but I really enjoyed him. I like listening to him. I agreed with a lot of what he said. Not really with the stuff on Israel and all of that, right? Because just because Israel is led by a madman doesn't mean you have to follow it. Because hopefully one day that madman will be out of office and there'll be somebody in there genuine. So you don't have to, as a Christian, you don't have to love the Israeli government. You just have to understand its place and what Israel means to you as a Christian. It doesn't mean just blindly some Netanyahu fucking psycho. All right, let's take a look. I have some descriptive I have a description of this guy. Let me pull it up. I forgot. Oh shit, Paul, thank you. Looks like a feminine male to me. Yeah, it could be. I do know. Yeah, I guess you're right. I have seen some gay men that walk that way. Thanks, Paul. All right, let's see here. So, as of September 11th, 2025, the assassin remains at large with no arrest or formal identification. Authorities believe it was a lone perpetrator in a targeted sniper style attack. Here's what is publicly known based on FBI, Utah Department of Public Safety, and ATF's statements. Right. So, the description of the shooter, college age, likely late teens to early 20s. So, remember, they're going to find witnesses and things, right? Who may have saw this person. Like, hey, we saw you in a video next to the killer. Do you remember seeing him? Yeah, I did see him. He got a drink of water, or saw him in the bathroom, or something along those lines. They might be able to give him a better description. Because unfortunately, security cameras suck. I mean, I don't know what we have to do to fix this, but I mean, security cameras suck. It's just the way it is, I guess. Miracle Hearts. The shooting at the Christian school last year was female, Natalie Rupnow. Yeah, and then we had the recent Catholic church shooting in Minnesota. The guy wrote all this crazy shit on his gun. I feel like these guys are all somehow connected. There's some website out there, there's some app, there's some chat room that these guys are all coordinating. It kind of reminds me of Fight Club a little bit. You know, all these guys going on these lone wolf missions, picking their own targets, and then receiving help from the group. Like, oh, you need a rifle? Well, I have a rifle. I'll send it to you. That way you don't have to go purchase one. Oh, well, I have a shooting range, or I have property, outside of town. Meet me there, and you can practice shooting there. Grunch has no conspiracy. Looks like a scheduled press conference was delayed due to new circumstances keeping them busy. Absolutely, Timmy. That's good news. The only reason they would ever even do a press conference is because they need help. We need something from you, the public, that we cannot get on our own. We need your help with this. So when they cancel the press conference, to me, that's good news. It's good to see you, Olivia. Sharon Gornick, what up? You called it on nearly every point. Yeah, wasn't that crazy, Sharon? All we did was the criminology, right? We just asked the questions. Like, who could this killer be? Why this college campus? Why Charlie Kirk? How did he get away? And then sure enough, boom, they found the rifle right where we said he would have ended up. Ended up being a college kid who most likely is going to have ties to the school or to that neighborhood there. I mean, we fucking called it. First two guns I owned was a 30-30 lever action and a 22 Magnum bolt. Yeah, my second gun was a shotgun, 12 gauge. No, actually, I think it might have been a 10. Might have been a 10 gauge. Used it to go quail and dove hunting. That rifle looks like your typical military bolt action Mauser, probably rebarreled to 30-06. Transgender is going to end up being classified as a DSM manual as mental illness. Well, what I think it is I think you have real transgenders, transsexuals, and then you have the mentally ill who are manipulated to believe that they're transgender through pop culture and through political influence. So what it is, you have a political party that is influencing Hollywood and the music industry, all of this satanic shit, because that's what this is. It's all just satanic. I know it sounds silly to say it, like satanic panic and all that, but that's exactly what this is. And unfortunately, these people fell a victim to it. It breaks my heart to just throw it all away, but the troubling part about all this is it starts at an early age, right? Childhood trauma, being sexually molested a lot at a young age, right? These people are able to see the pain that we don't. We don't get it. They see the pain that's being hidden. Why? Because that's a projection of what happened to them a lot as children, and they weren't protected, vulnerable, maybe a little confused. Somebody being molested by somebody of the same sex. Maybe not having a father in the home and having like this overbearing mother. You as a man, you might take on her traits, or even as a woman, maybe a woman in the opposite. Things like that. But a lot of it includes early childhood trauma. Something wires being crossed somewhere along the lines, and then being politically radicalized just kind of tips it all to the side. People already don't want to talk about their pain. You get shut off. You feel contagious. If you feel contagious, you're not going to be true self. And then when people start telling you that it's okay to be trans or things like this, you're going to be motivated to do that for acceptance. If you notice, there are more transgender people right now in the world who are children of movie stars, actresses. Like there's one, what's her name? Um, Something Fox. She has like 3 kids that are transgender, and before she had them, she was an advocate for trans. Right? That doesn't, to me, that's showing that it's not something that's naturally occurring, which it does. So I feel bad for those people who are struggling with dysphoria naturally. And then you have people who are struggling with mental health who are being convinced that they're transsexual. And I thought that the whole Silence of the Lamb's metaphor was good. It's spot on, right? Clarice Starling asks Hannibal Lecter, well, is he a transsexual? Hannibal says, no, Buffalo Bill's not a transsexual. He just thinks that he is. That's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with the mental health crisis, and these folks are being manipulated, and all they want is what everybody else wants, which is just love. Without that earlyhood trauma in their childhood, none of this would be possible. DL, what up? Thank you so much. Thank you for your respectful, sensible cover. Hey, thank you for being cool. Thank you for supporting my channel. Remember, guys, we're 100% crowd funded, so I appreciate the support. Grug says, why do countries without a 2A have more crime than the USA? Honestly, if you're going to live in a free country, there's going to be a lot of crime. That's just, it goes with the territory. So you have to just motivate people. You have to keep money in their pockets, and you have to keep their family healthy. Don't allow people to become desperate. Right? Just let them flourish. All men really want to do, and some women, is work. Long hours, long hard hours, and sit back and look at what they've built. That's all they really want, is for their family to be happy. But when your family's not happy and you're and your castle's missing bricks, you feel inadequate and you become desperate. You turn to alcohol, this, everything just starts spiraling down. Now you're homeless, you're addicted to Percocets, and you're a Democrat. You're like, how did this happen? Like, who dyed my hair blue? What's an Antifa? Yeah, no more baseball bats. Holy fuck. I like that name. Sleuth, the puppet master is the same that has been for the last 60 years. The government that creates issues then claims they'll fix the problem they created. I agree with that. They fear us, the people. What's up, J Ray? The real fatties be eaten with their hands anyway. Feels like it has something to do with his comments about MLK. What's that, Grunge? What's up, V? The Christchurch, New Zealand mosque killer had phrases on weapons and magazines. Yeah, that was a bad one too. And these guys are all this incel type, right? This mental health, closeted, inward thinking, fantasy driven. They're just lost. I don't know how to fix that. Grug says Antifa has been running the John Brown Gun Club for over 10 years, but this was not Antifa. I don't know who this was. Trans Tifa, maybe? Andy says, Salute. All I'm saying is it's easier to defend against somebody with a knife or their fists or baseball battery than a bullet. Yeah, that's why. Think about this, Andy. If good people don't shoot people, but good people are being attacked by bad people, right? Why would you take their guns away? So that they can then be overpowered with a bat, a knife, or run over with a car. Now they don't have a gun to protect themselves. Imagine if somebody could just kick in your door and do something horrible to your family and you're just completely helpless. What about your government turning against you? Once again, it's not the gun, it's the people. Only sick people want to kill and hurt and maim. You have to fix that issue, or else they're just going to, you can take all the guns away, they're going to find another way to maim. You have to take away that motivation. Look at the Boston bombing. There was no guns there, and that was a mass casualty. Boston will never be the same. 9/11 shit. These motherfuckers used airplanes. Didn't need a gun. You can take all the guns away that you want. If you don't address the motivating factor behind these killers, they'll just find another tool, another modus operandi from point A to point B. Yep, every day, Sparky. That's what it feels like we're being toyed with. And it doesn't even have to be this guy who's doing it. He could be under MK Ultra. You sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist. Yep. Until you see a man's head blown off in front of an entire crowd live on television. I was allowed to handle firearms by myself at 8 years old. Shotgun I was. I remember walking around with a shotgun around that age. I remember shooting it and it almost knocking me over. And I got a huge bruise on my left side of my chest. What's up, Inquisitive? It was an op. Yeah, Charlie had ops. That's for sure. Apparently, if you're Christian and conservative, watch your back. That's all I got to say, guys. Watch your back. Because all the conspiring is going on behind the scenes, and you could be a target. Call it a soft target. Are the photos of the suspect before or after the shooting? I don't know. I do not know. Let's see. Captured on security footage walking up a flight of stairs near the scene, wearing dark jeans and black long sleeve shirt, black hat, black sunglasses. Fired a single high powered rifle shot from a rooftop, Lucy Center building, or Lassie Center building, 130 to 180 meters, 142 to 590 yards away, per varying reports. The rifle was abandoned in nearby woods, along with shell casing etched with anti-fascist, pro-trans, pro-transgender, and Antifa-related messages. So it looks like there was some Antifa-related information there. Only one shot fired. Kirk was the sole victim. A footwear impression was recovered near the site. Here's a brief timeline. Arrived on campus at 11:52 a.m. Ascended stairwells to the rooftop. There, that's the fucking word I was looking for. Stairwells. Jesus. Kept saying ladders. It's like, what the? That's not the right word. Sniper position. Fired at 12:20 p.m. Then fled amid the chaos. Investigators have tracked movements via CCTV, but no vehicle or escape route confirmed. Yeah, so he could have had a getaway driver, or he just simply lives across the street. Who's to say he doesn't live in this neighborhood over here? If I was the FBI, what I would do is what they did with the Idaho 4 case. Check all the ring cameras up and down 725, 800, 860, and 800 south. Shit, even 850 south. Check all the ring camera footage right around the time of the killing. Looks pretty easy to get through right here. Shit, there's an open gate right there. Yeah, look at this open area. He could have gone right through there. This gate is wide open. Gone right up this road and into this neighborhood. So yeah, 700 west. Check those ring cameras. 725 south. Definitely check those. And then maybe even in this area. I agree, J. Ray. And there's no such thing as hate speech, right? There's hateful people who spew speech. Speech isn't hateful. And a lot of people, the reason they killed him is because they thought Kirk was spewing hate speech. But when you're just telling the truth and you disagree with it, that's not hate speech. But when you have a political party telling a fringe group, which is a large portion of the United States of America, telling them that Charlie Kirk is a Nazi and Donald Trump is Hitler, and that they should be killed. Like, nobody on the left is sad that Charlie Kirk was murdered. They just wish that they had the courage to do it themselves because they're all hateful. That's what they want. This is what they want. Either believe them, agree with them, because when you disagree with them, you make them feel like they don't belong, like they're not right. And when you're an egotistical maniac, you have to be right. I can't be wrong. I couldn't have been wrong this entire time. The way I feel about Palestine and the way I feel about this, right? Just completely radicalized. Not even living a real life. Just everything internalized and just fantasizing about watching political leaders that cause more and more people to disagree with your stance to be murdered in public. These people are wicked. They don't care about death. Most of them are probably thinking about how they're going to take their own lives. That's why they become what they become. Because they've hit rock bottom emotionally and spiritually. Back in the day, to intimidate people, they would write people's names on bullets and leave them somewhere. Find them and be intimidated. Oh, that's funny. Funny, but not funny. But I could see like somebody harmlessly, like writing, let's say, they write Patrick on a bullet and they just kind of throw it somewhere. And they know that I'll walk that way. Like, let's say it's my path to school as a kid or something. And then I find it and I'm all paranoid for the next 3 days. See, back then things used to be wholesome and fun. Now, if you find a bullet like that, it's probably somebody's getting ready to kill you. Some deranged liberal lunatic. Right? I gave them my vote. Now they're my friends. I must kill for the high. Did he put the weapon there before the event? That's a good question. Because honestly, that would be that's not a very long walk, right? You go over there, grab it, maybe just keep it under the towel, right? In a box. Nobody really notices. You walk through here. It kind of looks like a violin or something. It's a musical instrument. Make your way up to the roof and then just get set. Run back, drop it off right there, and then take off. Could be Sparky. Could be. Yeah, you can't. And the crazy thing is that everybody wants to criticize Israel, but really Israel is almost like just like the strong arm of the United States. Honestly, if the United States didn't want Israel to do what they're doing to Palestinians in Gaza, it wouldn't be happening. So it's almost like everything that Israel is doing is really just us doing it. And I think that's what they wanted in Ukraine. But it fell apart. Oh shit. Is that our suspect? Does kind of look like him right there. But right here, no. I'm getting like these weird, really feminine vibes from this image. Either a trans woman or a gay man. Trans man or a gay man. What's up, Frank? Government always seems to get a free pass with societal problems. They create many of them. Yeah, they are the problem. That's why I'm a conservative. Right? I don't want the government in anything. It's like you just go back there, stack all of our money, make sure you keep up with our roads, our hospitals, our bridges, make sure we're the best of the best in everything possible and leave me the fuck alone. If I need anything from you, I'll ask. You just make sure I from point A to point B without hitting a million potholes. Make sure I have a place to go to as well. And I can afford it. That's all we really want. We want a nice house, decent transportation, places to go, places to take our family, things to do, and to be in good health while we do all of it, while we make memories and build generational wealth. Yeah, to me, it's great news, Steffa. Like, hey, we're not doing a press conference because we don't need your help. You know, we got something big. Rapid deletions in this case. Let's see. Let me zip on down. Palacios, Texas. What's up? My husband refused to ever wear a mask. He did not submit. They would chase him around stores. Yeah, me neither. Me or my wife. The only time we did was when we flew to Coeur d'Alene for our anniversary because we're not giving that up. You know, we went there 3 years in a row. And one of them just happened to be right in the peak of the pandemic. And we had to, and it was awful. I felt it didn't make any sense, right? It's just crazy to listen to stupid people telling you to do stupid shit. You know what I mean? It feels weird that you can be forced into it. It's fucking scary. That was some of the scariest shit I've ever lived through. Just to see, you know, when they talk about the zombie apocalypse, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about a literal brain eating undead creature. They're literally talking about just the brain dead people. They don't think for themselves. They literally were doing whatever the government told them to do. They were literally like they would say they would call people like Donald Trump a Nazi while literally becoming Nazis. And I don't mean as an embellishment. No, they literally were becoming identical to Nazi Germany during World War II. All right, I'm way behind in the chat. What's up, Deb? It's good to see you. What's up, Deb? All right. Christy B, what's up? That guy, Christy, that was not related. That video, they don't really show the guy jumping off the roof, but are you talking about the guy that's running through the parking lot? He's got shorts on and he's taking off his hoodie and it looks like he might have his face covered. Yeah, that was from a different event. I think some troll posted that on X and it just kind of went viral. I feel like this shirt is part of his disguise. I don't think it means anything. I think he grabbed it because he just to fit in. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, what's the motive? Motive's unclear. but described as targeted and politically motivated. The etched message suggests ties to far left extremism, transgender activism, or Antifa ideology. No manifesto or claims of responsibility. Trump and allies blamed radical left rhetoric. Democrats condemned the violence without endorsing blame. After they cheered, of course. Yeah, things are going to change from this point on. You know, we're not taking any more shit from these fucking satanic people. At least I know I'm not. If you come at me with your bullshit, just expect it. That's all I'm saying. Patience is running thin. Because when you have the discernment to see it, yet you feel like you want to express love that you have for everybody, but when you try to express love to somebody that doesn't know what that means and doesn't care anymore, they've now gone to the dark side. There's just no communicating with the ravaged wolf, right? He just wants to tear you from limb to limb. A ravenous beast is what these people are. They're out for blood. All right. Kirk's follows a pattern including the June 2025 assassination of Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, April arson in Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and two 2024 attempts on Trump. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for de-escalating rhetoric. Chuck Schumer, what a fucking piece of shit that guy is. It's crazy. And if you follow these fucking schmucks and you just listen to everything they say, Jesus, fuck the politicians. Fuck them all. It's not about them. Let's see. Investigators urge tips via 1-800-CALL FBI or the FBI's online portal. All right, we're going to catch him on the chat, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's keep him up here. I want to give a special thanks to Paul Ayers and DL. Thank you guys for sponsoring today's live stream. It means a lot to me. Very generous of you. Tony N. What's up? Not silly. Baphomet is male and female. Satan is all above, perverting God's creation. Trans trash has been part of Satan's plan since the beginning. It feels like it, but I also feel like there may be a difference, right? But yeah, that's what I mean. It just feels weird to say it out. You don't want to be hurtful to people, but I mean that's what's going on. I agree with you. Deborah Lovelace. Gosh, I haven't been on here forever. Missed this channel. I've been so busy. Leighton, congrats on your little cutie. Thanks, Deborah. I appreciate that. Goat Dog. This is Hermaphrodite Club. The first rule of Hermaphrodite. Oh, is that in response to my Fight Club comment? Interesting. No wearing white after Labor Day. Second rule. You do not talk about Hermaphrodite Club. I see a lot of pierced septums in the crowd tonight. Oh, geez. You never wear white pants after Labor Day. You guys ever seen Serial Mom? If you haven't, go check it out. It's a good movie. Pebble Droppled. The murderer is so skinny he looks malnourished. Or feminine. Trying to explain the false flags metaphor to some friends. I don't think they got it. Yeah, that's the problem, Chopper. Sometimes people didn't have anybody to show them how to keep moving. That life is tough, you know. Everybody expected everything to be hunky-dory, right? And then when they're thrown to the wolves into the real world, they're like, oh man, I have anxiety and depression. I didn't realize life was going to be this hard. Nobody prepared me for this. They can't handle it. How many times have we heard about a company that just steals their employees' pensions and people who worked all their lives saving, deferring their gratification, and they die penniless? The majority of Americans will die that way. And we're definitely not going to get anywhere. Right now, we're suffering from an actual pandemic, a pandemic of ideologically subverted citizens. We have citizens that have been manipulated into believing that they hate their own country. They live in the greatest country in the world. They're 100% blessed. Yet somehow they want to destroy it. Well, why not? Don't people who are suicidal want to destroy themselves? What do most killers say? Well, I would have taken my own life, but I'm too much of a coward, right? I'll just go out in a blaze of glory. Death by cop or something like that, right? I couldn't do it, so now I got to go take other people with me. It's just pure wickedness. All right, let me zip all the way to the bottom. Sorry if I missed you. Let me go to Rain Dancer. Good to see you. Always good to see you, Rain Dancer. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. Champagne Problems, what up? There's a book called Carrying Comfort that is about mind vampires, not so much fiction anymore. Yeah, this is a virus. It really is a virus. This is the real pandemic. This is the real World War Z. These are the zombies right now, the mindless zombies. They want brains. Christy B, Timmy Waring. Good to see you, Steffa. Bill, what up, Bill? Bill from the Delphi timeline. Everyone should be telling their family, especially if you're conservative and public about it, to always be aware of your surroundings. Are on the side of safety. Yeah, I agree with that. It's crazy. That I don't know, Chopper. Apparently, there was a few universities that are being shut down right now. I don't know if it may be some prank calls, fake bomb threats. Trolls love this kind of shit. They love to upset people. Christy B, fuck Chuck. Yeah, Schumer is a piece of shit. Oh shit, is it? Actually looks like courtroom rendering of Lincoln's assassination at Forbes Theater. I don't know. I thought it was looked like an eagle and an American flag. Or a bear, maybe? Or maybe, yeah, maybe a bear. Something standing up right here, but I don't really know what this is. I thought it might have been the wings or something. Oh, he's good with that grill, Brandon. He knows how to work the grill, right? He didn't just buy it, and that's not the first time he's ever used it. We should ask him. We should ask to see his smoker. Where's your smoker, Chuck? Let's see you get down, buddy. Where's that applewood? Peggy O. All right, guys, this is going to do it. I'm trying to zip through these comments. Sorry if I missed anybody. But here's the suspect right here. They found his rifle. There it is, 30-06. Mauser, single action. They released evidence of his impressions here. Don't worry, that's not candy corn. Those are markers left behind by the investigative team. You can see the impressions from the shooter here. Here's a close-up. Little bony knee. Almost looks like a knee pad, maybe. Turned around, got up on his knee. Or the front of a boot when he took off and spun around. You know, your right foot, in order to pivot, you kind of push off with your right foot. That could be what that is, even. What's up, DP? All right, guys, that's going to do it. That's all the I'll keep you guys posted on everything. Remember, we are 100% crowdfunded, so you can hit the Cash App, great. But if you can't hit the Cash App, hit the like button. And here's a big shout out to all my members and all of you who continue to support the Sleuth Intuition channel. Much love to you guys. You are the heartbeat of this channel. My moderators, thanks for keeping everything chill. All my new subscribers, love you guys. Welcome to the crew. And on that note, I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.